Maybe it's just me, but there's always something really sad about that moment where you stop finding one of your favorite content creators interesting. Like one day, you realize you're just not interested in their content anymore, that you've been forcing yourself to enjoy it for a while. This is exactly the kind of realization that a lot of people have had about Trainwreck's content, and they've come to a decision that we all face at one point or another. Do you stick around and hope that their content goes back to the way it was when it was good? Or do you accept that things have changed and abandoned ship? What's up, Plug Clan? Today I'm here to talk to you about what's been happening with Trainwrecks, how he has gone from being one of the most popular streamers on Twitch to, well, as most fans would say, an absolute wreck. I'll see myself out. And before all y'all start roasting me in the comments, I'm not saying Trainwrecks isn't still one of the most popular streamers on Twitch. He was on the top 10 list for most watched streamers of August 2021. Of course he's still popular, it's just that his content has changed over the years, and depending on who you ask, it hasn't been for the better. And I'm just here to talk about what most of the audience has already been saying. Now, Trainwrecks has been on the scene for a while, which obviously means that he's no stranger to controversy. Being popular on Twitch basically guarantees that you're going to be in trouble at some point. They just can't help themselves, and it kind of helps them to stay relevant too. Who doesn't love drama, am I right? And in Train's case, well, he's been getting himself into trouble pretty much since the start of his career. Hey, I'm not judging, except I totally am, but there are only so many times you can get banned for the way you talk to and about women before the reputation starts to stick. I'm just saying, misogyny isn't a good look for anyone, bro. That's not why people have started disliking his content, though. Permanently canceling a guy who thinks it's cool to call successful women, even if that success is just them beating him at a game, really offensive words? Don't be dumb, this is the internet. The internet is forever! No, the reason why people have been criticizing his content is because he decided to make the switch from being a gaming streamer to someone who gambles on stream. I'm not allowed to actually use the word for what he's doing, but how is that entertaining for anyone? I seriously want to know what's so exciting about watching a man play slot machines. Maybe I would understand if it was something that actually took skill to be good at, but slot machines? Seriously? I gotta be honest here. I don't really understand why Twitch allows this kind of content on their platform in the first place. G-wording has literally been classified as addictive. People go to rehab for it. It's not the kind of thing people should be taking lightly, especially because streamers like Train are literally sponsored for this. They're being paid to advertise slot machines to their audiences. Now, Train has tried to defend himself for this, saying in a tweet that, quote, "I tell people not to gamble very often, especially when I win, and that they will always lose." But according to most of the fans, they think that he's sold out for the sake of money. Ben Kaplan responded to that tweet saying, "Doesn't matter how many times you say not to gamble. Human psychology is complex. When you have a big audience, you need to take responsibility." Whether or not he wants to admit it, Train has a lot of influence over his audience. And while he doesn't actively promote his sponsors, he still uses their sites on stream and encourages people to use them that way. And it's not just his fans who have concerns over his business practices. Even Ludwig has spoken up about this, saying, "Do you get that they pay you at least $1 million monthly because they receive a return from your viewers? Trust capitalism to make money, not give it away." He even went on to say that there's a difference between what Train is doing with slot machines and people who play poker on stream. In his final tweet, he says, "I think poker is a skill game that I really enjoy, whereas I think getting paid to punt thousands of dollars in minutes with a slot machine is degenerate." I think there's a very valid argument there. Train doesn't need to be good at slot machines to win. He just needs to be lucky. And luck is always going to be on his side because he's sponsored. And that is a dangerous message to send people, because despite the warnings, there are going to be people out there that don't listen. And I feel like people that are watching him are like young, and most probably they don't have enough money. And if they are playing the game, chances are they're gonna lose it, which is not good. There's a reason this stuff is age restricted. There's a reason you have to be a grown-ass adult to participate in it. But it's not just the sponsorships that people are worried about. They're also worried about his physical and mental health. Train spends a lot of time streaming slot machines, like a lot of time. That amount of time doing anything is pretty concerning, let alone using it to gamble. As this user says, I'm worried for Train. His 15-hour-a-day streams just playing slots, along with how his appearance has deteriorated. He needs an intervention or something. This seems to be the general sentiment surrounding Train's streams. Above anything else, people just think that he needs some kind of help. Matt Tant says, "What's happening to Trainwrecks is the saddest thing I've ever seen. He's literally dying live on cam and nobody can do anything about it." And it's not like people haven't tried asking him to stop. They have. But whenever anyone tells him that maybe he needs to give it up, he gets really angry about it. I mean, I think this speaks for itself.
Man, stop. Why? Why? Huh? You want me to be honest with you, dickhead? You want me to be honest with you? Huh? Before the drop happened, I had 15 million in crypto. With the drop, I probably have still a cool 6.5, 7 million. My
While the sudden move to streaming slot machines is pretty bad, it's not the only problem his fans have with his more recent content. There have been a number of allegations about him using certain substances, and I'm not talking about your everyday kind of painkillers either. The stuff I'm talking about can do some serious damage, even in the short term. Not only can this stuff seriously mess with your mental health, it can also lead to heart problems, seizures, and strokes. And in extreme cases, it can even lead to people ending up in a coma. I promise I'm not trying to be preachy about this, but, well, I think you can probably understand why so many of his fans are so concerned about him. This is some serious stuff that could do a hell of a lot of damage, and they have a right to be worried about him. Allegations of substance abuse have been following Train around for a while. This is not anything new. This tweet from 2019 shows that he's been dealing with these accusations for years. But even if they are rumors, these rumors have been floating around for a long time. Then is it really that hard to believe there's some truth to them? I mean, they have to come from somewhere, right? Now, Train has obviously denied these accusations. In one Twitch, he got pretty aggressive about it, saying,
"The come down of coke. Yeah, bro, you got me, man. The come down of coke. Yeah. Oh, I just watched Breaking Bad and I saw what drug use does to you, and now every streamer that stays up for more than 20 hours must be on drugs."
And maybe he would have a point if he wasn't doing all of the things he lists off as symptoms. Even just in that clip, he is talking nonstop and moving around a lot. And hey, I'm no expert. I'm just saying, don't come for me. Don't at me in the comments unless you're like trained in this stuff, then, you know, educate me, go for it. Obviously, these comments drew a lot of backlash, with a lot of people pointing out that he is behaving in that way. Multiple people have said things like, Train is operating like someone on coke, and Train is definitely on coke. Someone else followed up that last one with, there's clips of him going off screen without turning his mic off and snorting coke. And after a little bit of digging on my part, they might be telling the truth. Take a look at this.
Good Train, turn off your mic, your headset mic.
I hope it's just a joke, but there is a pretty noticeable difference in both his physical appearance and his behavior. Compare the Trainwrecks of 2018 to the Trainwrecks of 2021, and it becomes pretty clear that something has been going on with him. If you take nothing else from that comparison, just look at how much weight he's lost over the last couple of years. This is a guy who usually takes pride in how he looks, as we can tell from all those gym selfies. But that doesn't seem to be the case anymore. Yeah, I know the pandemic could have stopped him. Are you seriously telling me that a man who wins millions of dollars on slot machines can't afford a home gym? And it's not just me who's noticed. As one person says, I used to watch Train back in the day, and man, he just looks awful and unhealthy compared to back then. But no matter what happens next, I think it's safe to say that Trainwreck's future is going to be pretty interesting. Is he actually going to succeed in moving away from playing slot machines on stream? Or will he eventually get sucked back in? Will he ever go back to being the Trainwrecks that people started watching in the first place? Or is this just the person he is now? Only time will tell, so make sure you stick around. What do you guys think? Are his fans just overreacting? Is there anything wrong? Or do you think this goes a lot deeper than any of us actually know about? Let us know in the comments below.